Of the heat that you sacrifice your time to join us in this very unique event with the presence of Dr. Emer Roman, UP President. First of all, I'd like to thank our very generous host, June, both UP alumni, and we were so fortunate. Yeah, we were so fortunate na nandito rin ang father ni June, and I think
he's
he's also a UP
Law.
Yes, UP Law. Okay. Yes. Next, I really would like to call each of the officers of the PAGLA. However, I'll just like to ask them to raise their hands so that we will just proceed. Without everybody in this team was responsible in making this possible in a short notice. And so I would really thank everybody, including everyone who participated, because this is, I believe, the biggest turnout of an informal fellowship gathering we have. And we hope to repeat this and make it even better in the future. Okay, thank you. And without spending any more, I would like to request our special guest, UP President Dr. Emer Roman, to give us some information about updates in UP.
Thank you. And thank you to everyone for taking the time to come here and spend your Sunday. It's a precious day for all of us, but you came anyway, and we truly appreciate that. First of all, I might forget, so let me give my thanks first. I'd like to thank the UPAA Greater Los Angeles chapter. I think it was during the time when Doris was the president, when a faculty grant, a Centennial faculty grant, was donated to me. And then last year, Frank and Aurora donated a Centennial professorial chair. And Alma Onrubia also donated a professorial chair. So marami kaming nakuha sa LA alumni natin. Yay! We have been getting from the UPNI, UP Nursing Alumni Association. So marami talaga kaming dapat ipagpasalamat sa ating mga alumni sa LA. So we keep on coming back. So, as you know, we celebrated the Centennial Week last week, but we have here, it's the Oblation. It's a publication that is devoted primarily to the celebration of the alumni, to our Centennial celebration. So, we'll leave some copies for you. We'd like Frank to keep one copy, so you have a file copy. Okay, I'd like to report on two things, just two things. First, the new UP charter. We finally have a new charter. The original charter is Act number 1870, establishing the university on June 18, 1908. So that's Act 1870, establishing the University of the Philippines on June 18, 1908. Now we have Republic Act 9500. It is an act to strengthen the University of the Philippines as the national university. It was signed by President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo on April 29, just 3 days before it would have lapsed into law. Kasi, you know, the process is you have the House version and you have the Senate version. and it goes through several hearings, several plenary sessions. It goes through a first reading, a second reading, a third reading, after which there is a bicameral assembly consisting of both representatives and senators. They come up with a bicameral version. When that version is finalized, that version goes back to the House for ratification, goes back to the Senate for ratification. When they all agree, when the bill is ratified by both houses, this is enrolled in Malacanang for GMA to sign. And two things could happen. The President would choose to sign it into law, or she could not pay it any attention and let it lapse into law after 30 days. So after the bicameral version was ratified by both chambers, we were just waiting for 30 days. But apparently some lawmakers called up GMA to tell her, you need to be part of UP's history. So don't let it lapse into law. You should sign it. And we were told on April 20, just a few days before April 28, that she would sign it into law. And that in itself was a big story because first they decided to have it on April 28 in Malacanang. So that's fine. I was supposed to leave for the US on April 28 in the morning because of a conference that I was going to attend in Washington, D.C. It's a conference sponsored by Condoleezza Rice. But I was told that Malacanang was going, GMA was going to sign it at 9 o'clock. My flight was to leave at 6 o'clock in the morning. So Malacanang said, well, you might want to postpone your trip. So I got a PAL ticket. Philippine Airlines leaves in the evening. So I gave up my Northwest ticket and UP paid for my PAL ticket. Then after I got the ticket, I was told that it will be on April 28, not in Malacanang, but in Cebu. So I said, what time? And they said, 9 o'clock in the morning. And I said, no, 2:30 in the afternoon. And I said, okay, then I will take the 5 o'clock flight out of Cebu, arrive in Manila at 6, and go straight to the airport and catch the 10 o'clock flight. So, okay. A few hours later, I was told GMA will sign it on the 29th in Cebu. We were going to fly in and fly out. But because she changed her mind, she was going to sign it the following day, we had to book almost everybody because if it's going to be signed at 9, everybody has to be there before 9. So we had to book our guests in hotels. And we had to take care of breakfast, we had to take care of lunch, you know, all those expenses. Siguro we may have spent almost $500,000 just to fly in and fly out those who witnessed the signing. But finally, she signed it, and it was a happy event in Cebu. All the campuses were represented. The chancellors were there, the vice presidents were there, the student leaders were there, the alumni were there, the lawmakers were there. And so we finally got it. So if you count from the time Senator Wigberto Tanyada filed the first Senate bill on the UP Charter in 1993, that would be about 15 years in the making. But if you count from the time the former UP President and now Senator Edgardo Angara created a commission to review the UP Charter in 1982, that would be 26 years or a quarter of a century. The students in UP now have not been born yet. So some of them don't even know the significance of a UP Charter. So what is the new charter all about? The new charter declares the UP as the national university of the country. It is a recognition that I think we very much deserve. Now you might want to ask, what does national mean? by national we mean